Does Powerplex's animosity for Omni-Man's offspring in Invincible align with his animosity in the comics? Powerplex, who despises the title character on a very personal level, was introduced in the most recent episode of Invincible. However, how does this hatred stack up against the comics? Compared to its contemporaries, such as The Boys, Invincible is among the most accurate comic book adaptations to date, yet, with the benefit of hindsight, a number of adjustments were made. Storylines may be streamlined, themes may be emphasized more firmly, or future plot points or characters may be better introduced. 2 minor characters were added to the finale of Season 1 of Invincible, which was one adjustment that achieved all 3 goals. Comic book readers thought this alteration was meant to build up a villain in the future for years, and Season 3 ultimately proved it. One of Invincible's numerous developments was Mark Grayson's altercation with his father in Chicago. A lot more emphasis was placed on the death toll and Invincible's inability to save anyone, including the deaths of 2 individuals near Powerplex, aka Scott Duvall, than in the comics. The program changed the fact that Invincible didn't actively work to stop any damage in Chicago, unlike the comics. Rather than ignoring the structure that was falling, Invincible was punched through it. He confronted 2 of the battle's impending casualties while making an unsuccessful attempt to prevent it from collapsing. The most recent episode's introduction, All I Can Say Is I'm Sorry, featured the devastation of Chicago as seen through the eyes of Scott Duvall, who was expertly portrayed by Aaron Paul of Breaking Bad. Additionally, it verified that Scott's sister and niece, Jessica and Gretchen Duvall, were the 2 individuals Mark was unable to save out of hundreds. In the source material, Scott also lost his sister, Jessica, but she was merely a nameless casualty of the fight in Chicago that neither Invincible nor readers ever saw or knew. A glimpse of their lives together is shown in this opening, and Scott even shows his niece his abilities. In addition, Scott attempted to obtain justice for them and the hundreds of other people who perished through the court system before committing murder outright, like he did in the comics. Only after being informed that our laws don't apply to individuals such as Invincible did Scott lose his temper. The same Chicago building where Scott's sister and niece perished for poetic justice served as the setting for his fictional kidnapping of his wife and, now infant, son, rather than a generic disused facility. Additionally, Scott's story gained a cruel irony when he accidentally causes the deaths of his wife and son in the same location. According to Simon Raciapa, showrunner of Invincible, Powerplex is not wrong about a lot of the issues he charges Mark with at the end of the episode, and it will be something rattling about Mark's brain for the rest of the season. In an interview with Den of Geek, people died despite Mark's best efforts to save as many lives as possible, and their loved ones, like Scott, were left to bear the consequences of Invincible's failure and deeds, when Angstrom Levy and his gang of evil multiversal Invincibles return. It is likely that these repercussions will be explored. Mark and his brother Oliver have been at odds over Levy's return, and perhaps Mark will reconsider his morality in killing to avert a more catastrophic disaster. That concludes our review for today, but the discussion is far from over. For more, leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more videos. Keep the magic of movies alive until the next time, signing off from FK Bytes.